former Secretary Becerra's tenure, responses to these kinds of questions, for the record, were not delivered in a timely manner. And the example I'm going to give you is that on March 22, 2023, he got...
Here, we can't really hear. Then, like, in my opinion, they support it.
Gotcha, I understand. So you think as a mob, they should say, hey, that kind of discussion shouldn't occur. In that regard, I agree, right? So,
yeah.
So with that, all you got to do is make a complaint, and it's against TOS, so then they'll suffer the consequences.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have, and, like, apparently from what I've heard, though, it's like people have in Talking Apes, or, like, if you make a complaint, like, I've actually reported people who have, like, in Talking Apes, people who have done things like harassment. Like, there was a guy, the other guy, remember, I made a complaint for harassment in Talking Apes. His name was Seneca, I believe his name was. But if you don't believe me, Cora was there. She can confirm.
No, it's not that I don't believe you, but these harassment complaints are from one person on the app to another person on the app, and that's just a violation of. It could be a violation of TOS depending on what is uttered or typed in side chat. So it would be up to those that monitor the TOS violations to render the consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also there's just simply not going into the apes anymore. I mean, JCC and I'll speak for myself. I go in the apes a couple of times a week, and they attack me all the fucking time. Last thing in the world I'm going to do, well, again, it's just me. I'm not going to report them.
You can go into other rooms that the same thing happens, like Chillism House. They're constantly attacking one another and new people that come in. So now they may have.
I think there's a distinction. I just want to say, like, I understand there's a distinction. Like, I just think, like, there's obviously a line that be drawn from just simply throwing insults at people and harassment, and even worse, I mean, encouraging suicide. Like, if you do not condemn that in your house, then you support it.
Okay, Nico, was I ever on the top when that happened?
Well, I don't remember you being in those rooms when that happened, so no.
Okay.
Necro, did anything happen recently which caused you to recall this event that admittedly was 2, 3, 4 months ago?
I mean, really, I just have, yesterday I was really just, I was frustrated with Jeremy because he's a person I've always been considered to be a friend, and the fact
you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
He's one, and replays are on. Jeremy is one of the biggest hypocritical assholes in the ape. Okay, Jeremy is one of the biggest people that insults and attacks me more than close to anybody else. Again, I'm not going to report him. I just press leave quietly. Jeremy's a son of a bitch.
May I speak a little bit, Necro?
Sure.
I'll just give you my opinion. I'm 46. So maybe older than you, and I sound like I'm talking down to you, but I really don't mean to. What I mean to say, when I was in my 20s, I had a really hard time. For a variety of reasons. Most of it's because my house is pretty shitty. I mean, the world is full of a lot of negative people, I think. And at least personally for me, the best thing to do is avoid all the negative people and then find good people. That's just like that's the best thing that I ever did. That's the best thing I ever did in my entire life. Like, I haven't talked to my old man for 10 years because he's a liar. Everybody in my hometown knows that he's a liar. He's a like an alcoholic. And since the time I was probably 6 years old, my job was to try to take care of him and get him out of trouble all the time. But there's nothing I can do to change him. I'm sure everybody has people like this in their lives. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta, I don't know, turn up the good and turn down the bad,
No, I would agree with that. Like, you can't police all the world, like, how everything happens. But it's like, I mean, if you have it, like, if my boss is being racist, yeah, I'm not gonna, like, deal with that. I don't think it's good to have those people in your life, but at the very least, you should, take action against someone who is affecting everyone.
Let me also state this. The event that you're talking about, someone in the Apes months ago encouraging you to commit suicide. I've been going to the Apes for 2 or 3 times a week minimum for the past couple of months, and I've never heard it once. Now, that being said, I don't doubt that somebody a couple of months told you that, but I don't want to be one to police free speech. In answer to your title of the room, I do not believe that the Apes should be banned based on what you've described. Now, if they made it a daily occurrence, which clearly they have not, to encourage people to commit suicide, if that's part of their MO, their modus operandi, that's a different story. But just the fact that there are assholes in there, such as Jeremy, who I mentioned before, and there are hypocrites in there, such as Jeremy, the last thing I want to do is attempt to police free speech. Because as soon as I get on my high horse and tell him that he can't or shouldn't be saying those things, then I'm restricting my right to free speech. So this is why, and again, you opened this room, I just saw it in the hallway. This is why I think the Talking Apes should absolutely not be banned. That's just my humble opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, though, I mean, I understand free speech. I don't think free speech gives you the right to encourage harm of anybody else. I mean, if you encourage somebody to commit suicide and they do the deed, then that is murder.
No, it's not. I have to disagree, man, because at the end of the day, the only person that you have control over is yourself, right? That's what I was trying to get at with my whole dad thing.
Well, Pure, I think there has.
I can't.
Pure, I think there.
Well, let me just land, JCC.
Okay.
What I mean to say is this world's full of assholes, but it's also full of really good people. I see that you do animation and stuff. I actually went to college for graphic design.
Yeah, this is not related to the topic of someone influencing somebody in your life, right? So you're deviating.
I am. Well, let me focus in then.
Okay, try to wrangle it up.
But what I'm saying is there's so many assholes in this world. They're going to give you all sorts of bad advice. Best thing is, like, you know what I mean? Just avoid those fuckers and really go out of your way to look for good people. I mean, that's the best thing I could say, right?
Yes, that's good advice, Pure. But what I was going to say was, supporting what Necro says, people can.
Okay, this is reading Marcus Aurelius on Clubhouse. This is Anna. The reason why I'm doing this room is I have to do a lot of work, and so I'm basically going to stop recording Clubhouse for a while. I'm kind of excited because I feel like I've heard every single complaint, every single topic. I've heard every single person speak at length. And, it's basically a question of where do I want to be? How do I want to spend my time? And with who do I